Hey, Becky.
Oh, hey, Tatiana.
Have some. Today we're going to discuss a new venture. And we're going to do a little tarot read on it to figure it all out. But as per usual, eternity, eternity, to eternity, magical, sacred harmony, positive power, infinite connection, positive and vertigo, positive and vertigo, positive and vertigo, reflection. All right. So today's basic question we know, and since this is as well as Anarchy Wellness, tarot reads, coming into something new, we're gonna tag it as Taco Tarots. Tacos and tarot. See see the teamwork? Okay. So we're going to talk about the wellness, because this Anarchy Wellness is about Anarchy Wellness Tarot decides the wellness and the direction of the wellness of a decision that you're making, mind, body, and soul. So in that theme, we're entering Becky's deck along with my basic cards and the oracle, so we'll get a read from all of them. And thank them very much for being here. All right. So, hey Becky, what's your first question that you have in conjunction with our creation of Tacos and Tarot?
Let's see.
Mind, body, and soul. So the mind of the business, or the tarots, or the tacos. Why did we come up with it? What's the body of it? What is it going to do in order to get it done? And then what is the spirit of it? What's going to keep us motivated? And I always say wealth and health.
So I think, yeah, might be like desire to create some routine, and within that routine, find things that are like positive and self-serving, and like also to just to be able to share that a little bit with other people. And I always get a kick out of these videos because I'm like, who's gonna ever watch this? And then you just never know. I end up watching the most random things. So it's just to be able to kind of fun to share your thoughts with the world.
Another one bites the dust in the funky town. Out on the streets with the motorcycle. Getting some fun cooperation with that. Okay. So I feel like that was took care of mind and body. What number comes to your mind when you think of, sort of like you were saying, the having the routine, being sort of aware of your sharing of it? What is the number that comes to mind for that?
So without delving a little bit more into what exactly you mean when you're saying that, I'm going to go with the number 5.
All right. So we got 5 is the body. Or no, 5 is the mind. Sorry, mind. And our overall mind thought process is creating routine to promote the positive benefits in life.
like the apex of what we're looking for here, to be honest.
Cool. And then in keeping also with what you were saying, what do you think? What number comes to mind when I say something like when I highlight the part of it that was about keeping to that routine, having that promise of that activity, and making that's a physical, and then we're eating, and so that's a physical, and deciding that nourishment for the so I would consider that body. What is the number that comes to your mind when you consider that as your body?
4.
Those things that you brought up, and I'm highlighting, of getting the action behind eating right, having the tacos and the taro being something that you can share, of a wellness activity that you can do. What is the number that comes to mind when you consider that?
4.
All right. And I know we're taking a while to do this, but I want to get into the spirit of what, or the soul of what. And mind, body, food, activity. This is very soulful. And then we got a nice little soulful jam outside with the, motorcycle playing the radio that we heard. Kind of confirming, giving a hallelujah to your statement, if you will. The emotions that conjure up the possibilities of what we're dreaming about, and the enthusiasm and the excitement. What number comes to mind about that?
7.
7. All right, and then next is health and wellness. So, health and wellness, or what I kind of like to think of as hearth. It's that which we put into that yields our abundance, and whatever our abundance is. And so, in hoping that we, do things with our creativity in mind, and also like that, what is your number that you consider when you think of how are we going to make this sustainable for ourselves? 1. So I'm going to call that either ACE. Is that
Sure.
ACE? Is that what we're doing? ACE? All right, ACE. All right. And just to give that some more content, what is that, for me, and this is just me, Anarchy Wellness, it demands that it be without greed base, we are talking about bartering. We are talking about inspiring a bartering system and stuff like that. I like to be gifted the things that want to be tools for these things. Like I don't purchase the sacred tools, is one way of thinking of that.
I like that.
I find mineral value to be the highest form. I understand the use of minerals and copper and things like that, and so I have a preference myself of those types of exchanges. And but like you were talking about, the work that goes into putting this in. I'll bring the food, you bring the a part of the interpretation, because your interpretation matters and my desire for the food matters, and because I'm hungry. No. But the love that goes into the food, and are we purchasing the right, farmers and things like that when we exchange in our barter. So what's
I'm super happy to be cooking for someone and sharing food. I love doing this, and I haven't really done it in a while. And that's a time for a story for another time. But I am absolutely enjoying cooking for you. I love that you come over and eat my food.
Love it. Today we're not doing tacos, we're doing different things, but she's grilling a bunch of stuff up, so it's gonna be good. Alright, good relations in exchange of abundance, of shared abundance.
Shared, that's why I was gonna say 9 for that first question, and then I went right to 1 because I was like, that's how we do it. 1.
Right. Very good. I love it. I love it. I love it. So that's what we have. And let's just kind of go over. She chose mind is 5. Creating routine to promote positive benefits. 5 is harmony. 4, the action of creating the routine and that promotes the positive benefits. 4 is sacred. Enthusiasm for persisting through in this endeavor, sharing this gift. She chose 7, which is spirit, which in the spirit lane. She chose 7. With the emphasis on the enthusiasm for the sharing of this gift, and that being the spirit of the movement of tacos and tarot. Presented at this time by Anarchy Wellness. And aces for the good relations in sharing and the exchange of this. It's all aces, man. We're all one in this barter that we create. A way of doing without the system that's in place is difficult, and yet we're all figuring out how to do without it, right? How to engage in things that create our abundance outside of a mainstream manner. So she and I, as independent contractors in wellness, that's all we do. We're independent contractors. We stay outside. Anyhow, so cheers to that. Salute. All right, so I'm choosing.
Those rosemary hands smell it. Oh. Here, I can't let you smell it. I have a bite.
Not 16. All right. Food is ceremony. All right. And I want to talk about food, and that, used to be we made sacrifices for food. We made sacrifices in order to make abundance of food happen, because we didn't understand the powers that be of the earth and its ability to supply, and that we're under a different impression because knowledge wasn't shared. Today we live in a day and age where knowledge is shared, and only because we're sharing this food, I just want to say, Takashala, Creator, thank you for this food and its gifts, and the people who worked in bringing this food to our table, and the families of the farmers that they were taking care of well, and without any human trafficking, without any harm that would come to any of us in this food given and then this food taken in that exchange. Oh, takiasi. So I'm being who I am, and I save mine for mine, yours for yours, and mine take care of me, and yours take care of you. And they only come together when we share those times and give that permission. So with that, it's important to acknowledge all traditions and all occurrences, which is why I read cards the way that I read them in my own interpretation, because I am far from traditional. I come from the universe unknown, and I only contracted this one time to be in this infinite connection until I break free. Oh! Now we get to go into our extra helping. She gets the Wild Unknown Tarot. And we're going to bring in some feelers on that one to give us a beginning, middle, and end 3-card trip. What you think? Yeah? Yeah, beginning, middle, and end. Or do we want, I mean, is that too, we don't really want it to end, right? Yeah, are we already talking about the end? Like, beginning, middle, and end of the beginning.
Right.
Right? Because we want it to go on and on and on and on and on in however its evolution brings.
Oh my god, this sandwich is gonna be so good.
Right? I love my meat, and I just can't stand the animals and even plants, man. I don't like our mass production. Like, take care of your own animals, man. Eat your own food. I'm an asshole. You know? We got people who want to live outside, and it's illegal for them to live outside because they ain't allowed to hunt, and they ain't allowed to grow food, and they ain't allowed to forest. These motherfuckers act like they ain't trying to kill indigenous people. Okay, sorry, I go on rants. Alright, so, beginning, middle, and end of our beginning. You want to pick? Tacos and taros. Tacos and taros. You got to create a song for tacos and taros.
Tacos, tacos and taro.
Tacos and taro. Tacos and taros. Taros and tacos. Tacos and taros. What do we come in? We gotta come up with 1 billion of them so we can jingle our lives away.
Right.
Jingle our lives away. Alright, and final overall oracle read. One fascinating card to give us an understanding on the gifts we want to share, the direction we want to go, the courage we want to sustain, I don't know, like the fun we want to have. And we want making our work, hopefully our profits, go to the places where we want them to go. Work in the way that we want it to work, share with whom we want it to share with so that we can have more to share. The more you have, the more you share, right? And I just, God, man, every philosophy works, man. You can really convince yourself of anything. So however you want to tool your beginning, middle, and end of anything, I got a beginning, middle, and end every single day. Every single 25 minutes, I got a beginning, middle, and end. You know what I mean? And it became really difficult to be detached from the last minutes that passed. You know? I don't know how we're supposed to do it at the same time. I think that confusing whose faith you're supposed to go with. You know, I stopped asking why because my mom told me Indians don't ask why. I said, but we ain't Indian. We're like Chippewa, or, we're like, we have a lot of different nationalities in us. I was very upset with her answer when she gave it to me, but it did stop me from having to ask. Like, all right, why ask? Just look at the moon. Look at the sun, look at the stars, make up your own answers, connect your own dots. But then all knowledge is power, and all words are sacred, and all sounds are sound bites in the universe delivered, be they through words, thought, or other. And so, with that, that's my overall lecture in wellness, I would say, for today. I always kind of give it a world perspective with my small little tiny life here, trying to affect something greater. Alright, let's hope I pick a different card because, I tend to pick the same card over and over. Tacos, tacos, tacos and taros. Tacos. I want to know what kind of fun we should have with this. Tacos and taros. And as we're going to have that ability to have a strong, outlasting, long-term faith in each other's gifts. So what I've learned about that is, tell me.
What we're doing right now is just starting and keeping in, finding out what works as you're going along, and the creation process. If you make it like that, then it's like the creation process becomes fun, and that's where you end up with something that's valuable.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Card number 1. Oracle. Kali Oracle. Alan Fairchild. Him forever not shall be that motherfucker. Bhairavi Yogini. How would you pronounce that? Bhairavi
Yogini.
Yogini?
Mm-hmm.
Yogini. All right, so yeah, I like to not pay so much attention to the book and just kind of talk about what it is that I see here. All right, so we've got a pink lotus. Some people's going to call that purple. Some people's going to call that something else. Some people's going to call that whatever the hell they want, right? What I see here is the lightest of lightest pink from behind. And I would call that the third eye, right? Shining from the back of your skull, like what was it, Pulp Fiction? You had the Band-Aid on the back of the skull. So that's going to be our movie reference, Pulp Fiction. Nice. Fucking A. So the back of the dome where the third eye shines through, right? And I just want to talk about what pink, the lightest of light pink, it is the white light that meets the core chakra. Okay, that's what creates the pink. So you got the red third eye on the top of the skull shining through with blood coming through, you know, I mean, and up from the core, the root chakra, the core is from your creation. That is the blood, if you will, of life. Okay, so however they're going to interpret it in here, that's how I interpret that picture in a sense. And so I have a whole life cycle here. A whole entire life cycle. We have almost every shade of the chakras within that flower, which I assume is a lotus, a type of lotus of some kind, right? And then, you know what I mean? So this is that pure light coming all the way through your body and igniting every single chakra up to the above the crown. Okay. So, I'm looking also at indigo being a strong color. I'm looking also at teal being a strong color. Okay, so I'm also looking at light going into dark, and then highlighted by light. They're then highlighted by dark. And so I want to, again, this is a life cycle going through, and I would say a life cycle of some of the most painful knowledge that you're going to endure. So tacos and tarot might get deep, man. I mean, to say the least, right? And then it's 21. We're going to read the card numbered as 21, the Bhairavi Yogini, right now, and get their interpretation, you know, of what this means. But it's that whole thing. Light must pierce, sometimes painfully, through, and you know, what I call graduations will happen. Graduations of form, graduation of spirit, graduation of body, mind, and soul, right? That whole trip. So, card 21 by their choice is 2 and 1 is 3 is magic. So, the magic of the journey is what I get from that card. Sublime Bhairavi, fierce with sacred rage, cannot be deceived, deterred. She is without flinching, fearless and determined. She causes that which is unworthy, without worthy of the soul, to flee, and secures divine protection for the authentic soul path. Her presence empowers our heart to face our fears and signifies that we are ready to overcome anything that has held us back. She gives us power to fulfill our heart's desires and reminds us to embrace our unique path with confidence. I think that's what you were asking for. I think that was the part that didn't get mentioned when I interpreted your questions, I would say. And then as fast as I can, I'll read. The 6th of the Vidya, wisdom goddess of Bhairavi, she is the wrathful emanation of Kali Ma, and the conqueror of fear. Her name means formidable and terrifying. Why would we be afraid of our beloved Divine Mother? We can recognize that she is fearsome in the sense of divine magnificence and inspiring awe. Like a force of nature powerful enough to rattle our inflated sense of entitlement and invincibility, she becomes something we can revere because we recognize with relief a power so much greater than the small-minded workings of ego. we can dedicate ourselves to alleviating the suffering we see in the world. If that is what motivates our hearts, then we can also take refuge from becoming disheartened by the extent of our task, because we recognize divine greatness and capacity. Capacity is everything. It doesn't say that, I said that. The entitled mind of a young soul may misinterpret such magnificence as an excuse of apathy. This is why she must be fearsome. To such minds. This is why she must be fearsome to such minds. I love that. The entitlement mind of a young soul may misinterpret magnificence as an excuse for apathy. This is why she must be fearsome to such minds. I love that. My mother comes out in me a lot. I think she's one of my characters in my head. Mm-hmm. The fear of God is necessary to trigger inner growth until the love of God is enough to motivate our hearts. That was what you were... Motivation! We need motivation! Let's start! Let's just start. Maharavi is divine wrath. She demands that we meet our potential. There is no playing small when she arises in the reading. Her appearance manifests to give us a necessary reminder to step up our spiritual game. Your commitment to the spiritual practice that suit you at this time. Did she say practice? She said practice. That suit you at this time is strongly encouraged. There are divine forces that will more than match your efforts, and a great deal of progress can be made in a relatively short time frame. If you apply yourself to the task, your progress will unfold more rapidly than you expect. You can accomplish even intimidating prospects if you harness your courage and commit to the process. The protocol. To encounter such dedication, she dangles a divine carrot. If we step up, her power can become our power of protection, and she will share other divine powers with us too. She is also known as Sadhi Bharavi, the grantor of spiritual abilities, powers, and attainments. Sounds like 7. She brings out the best. She brings out the best in us and conquers the threats of our fulfillment. Her appearance in this reading augurs, A-U-G-U-R-S, augurs, it's not argues, right? Augurs, I mean, I would say augment in some way. Augurs potential for the tremendous accomplishment. Augurs, gains. Might have to Google that one.
What is it?
A-U-G-U-R-S, augurs, potential for tremendous accomplishments. Wow, that sounds like something like gurus. Maybe
gurus. Noun plural of a religious official who observed natural science.
I love it. Her appearance in a reading augurs, so she is the overseer.
Portend of a good or bad outcome. The end of the Cold War seems to augur well. It's not really clear.
No, I get it. Okay, so what it's saying is that there is a overseer who will deem whether it was necessary, not necessary, good came of it, what good came of it, augurs potential for tremendous accomplishments, meaning whatever strife. So we was asking for beginning, middle, and end. Is everything gonna work out in the way that we want? I mean, and it says at the end of all of this, that she oversees, no matter what our journey is, that it will have tremendous accomplishments, or has the potential for. And you know what potential is, right? It's laziness, unachieved. So that's a lot about. There's while I can see the good, I can also see the levels of words as well, and their sound bites, and what they mean. Although she may seem downright frightening.
Holy cow, I'm not sure what's happening here, but we're gonna do it.
In what? Look at what she just made to talk about tacos and terrors. Hell yeah. Cheers. Hot, 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 hot.
Oh, here. Hella hot, huh?
It's always best when it burns your tongue. Although she may seem downright frightening in what she asks of us, right? You might think you're going to get burned, but you're not. As we often find liberation from our fears by moving right through them, she is beneficent. She is the light of the sacred fire and higher awareness, the Trehas in Sanskrit. Oh, there's no R in there. It's just Tehas, not Trehas, Tehas. There's three in the Sanskrit. There's Tehas, there's the Ra, and there is something Sattvat, yeah. It's the calm, it's the grounded, and it's the fire. Tehas is the grounded. If you were the most basic of basic principles, the tiny bit that I know about Sanskrit, that is the light which provides clarity and capacity for discernment. So a grounded approach in that. Without access to the light, the ego misinterprets guidance to suit its own ends and creates confusion. Her light helps us see and overcome the self-sabotage of ego and instead tune into the genuine wisdom. Even if it's not what we want to hear, genuine wisdom brings peace, relief, and clarity. It creates forward movement on our authentic path. By its effects, it can be known. The warmth of fire also presents the capacity to be cooked, transformed, yee-hoo! Ripened, and brought to complete fruition. The soul is the substance undergoing exposure to Divine Mother's alchemical heat. Hers is the promise that we shall dream, we shall do, and so we shall become what we were born to be. When Bharavi arises, we are asked to embrace our true passions and allow them to burn and purify us from within. The Tantras teach that Bharavi incites every form of passion and teaches the power to control them. This is why she is yogini, a female adapted that knows how to unleash and yet guides the wild energies of our being for for sacred passions, purpose, for sacred passionate purpose. Bhairavi is considered to be the latent energies that exist within the Muladhara, the base chakra. There she is, base chakra. This is the foundation upon which the body's earthy life and soul purpose arise in the world. Okay, when we take our physical form, in other words. Okay, this is the vessel that we move through when we take our physical form. It is our, how do you say?
Our what?
Graduation into this life.
Okay.
She takes the divine energy from the idea and gives it the capacity to become embodied and takes form. The Bhairavi pulls the rug out from beneath us when we are ready for more powerful connections with truth. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. Have you ever had the rug pulled out from under you? Oh, that fucking hurts. This bitch. Gosh, love her. Bhairavi pulls the rug out from beneath us when we are ready for more powerful connections with truth. That's a harsh fucking reality right there. She helps us to ground ourselves within our authentic spiritual nature rather than on the shaky ground of ever-fluctuating external circumstances in the form of spirituality's stable place that we can move from strength to strength, secure in her love and protection as we manifest our passionate purpose. Recognize your inner divine badass. Yes, it says badass. And commit to your dreams with conviction. Invocation ritual. Yogini Queen Mahadvavi unites spirit and form, bringing sacred inner desires to material fruition for the spiritual benefit of all beings. I bow with respect. You who are Bhairavi, wrathful mother, conquering fear of confusion, manifesting power of Kali, blocking the workings of black magic and the ill effects of planetary forces, offering protection from cures and cure against delusion. You bring boons, blessings, abundance, and empowerment for the fulfillment of desires and increase of comfort, remedy against dis-ease and despair. You are restoration. All this you accomplish to manifest spiritual enlightenment for the beginning, for all the beings. I let go of my fear and open my arms to your love for the spiritual benefit of all beings. Jama Kali, Bhairavi, Jama Kali. I don't know why everything always sounds like it's got to be Jamaican, but that must be a character in my brain too. All right. I want you to gaze upon that and consider the skull with the chakra, the base chakra, as I mentioned it might be. Rest a hand on top of one another, palms facing upward. Ho! Palms facing upward. Give all to Creator in that way. All your strife, all your pain, all your hurt. Your right hand can rest in your left hand. This is the mudra, or hand posture of Bhairavi, the posture to rest and overcome fears and ego and receive great benefits. Rest here for as long as you wish. Repeat the following mantra many times as it feels best, singing, chanting, whispering, imagining. Feel and pretend the sound generating sacred divine precedence in your heart, and as well as shining ruby red light through you and nourishing and awakening and protecting all beings. You can sense the sound and light radiating in all directions and throughout the dimensions. Let your heart and your voice Be soft as you do this, so as not to unduly frighten or disturb any being not wishing to receive such a blessing. Let it be a surrender offering of some sweet, kind gesture for your heart. Okay. I like it like that.
That was pretty amazing.
Wasn't it? I thought so. Beginning. We always do this.
Don't we?
Don't we? We always do this one. We've only done 3 readings, she and I. We always do it. Let's get our, before we take a time out, we're going to do our beginning, our middle,
Nine.
it was upside down,
9 of Cups.
but, and their ending is the Emperor, so, sounds good. Those onions are everything. I mean, I love bell peppers. Bell peppers on everything.
How good is that sandwich?
It's delicious.
Everything's except a little bit of mushrooms in there. A little bit of portobello mushroom.
Right?
Rosemary ham.
Rosemary ham.
We've got a mix of cheeses, like a Mexican mix of cheeses, and a color.
Ooh, yummy. All right. You want to take a moment? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Taking a moment.